Hi everyone, it's me Catherine, and today I'm here to bring you my review for JJK. It's not JJK, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Hi everyone, it's me Catherine. Today I'm here to bring you my review for gege. Hey everyone, it's me Catherine, and today I'm here to bring you my review for Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami, a manga series that I recently read. From the manga vlog for, it should be going up soon. Yeah, so I recently read the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen, reread the first bit because I had started it ages ago, reread it, and then got immediately caught up, and it is the manga vlog for this month. It will be going up this Friday. If you are not part of my coffee membership, in which case you'll have had it early access, but it will be going up this Friday for everybody. And yeah, it was a ride. So for those who are unaware, Jujutsu Kaisen we're sort of focused on our main character, Yuji Itadori, who at the start finds a cursed finger. He's like part of an occult club at his school, finds a cursed finger, and it sort of kickstarts his journey into the world of sorcerers and curses and jujutsu stuff. And he goes to a new high school, makes some friends, and they have like really wild experiences, and it's a wild time all around, honestly. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I did really enjoy this series. It's wild. I was having a hard time trying to put into words exactly Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, let's start off, let's just say, okay, so the characters, let's start with the characters because the characters are the most important thing, and I really enjoyed the characters in this. Because it's very fast paced, it's not very long, and I feel like we don't spend enough time with all of the characters that maybe we need to in order to build that much needed connection with some of them for some of the events that go on, and for you to properly connect and feel what maybe you intended to feel, or maybe you weren't intended to feel anything and that was the point. They were just supposed to be characters that just sort of like came in, came out, and then that was it. But the main characters, so we've got Yuji, we've got Fushiguro, and we've got Kugisaki. They're the three, like they're the three sort of like in Yuji's year at school. So there he's like peers. They're the ones that we sort of build the biggest connection with, and his teacher, Gojo, who I'm sure everybody, whether you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen or not, probably knows who Gojo is. And even with Gojo, actually, I feel like potentially not enough time, but again, we have the sort of sequel, so maybe we do with Gojo, like maybe there is, because we do get his backstory and get a bit of his time at school and leading him up to the events of the present in Jujutsu Kaisen. So overall, I really enjoyed the characters. I felt like some of them I could have done with a bit more with, but we got a wide selection, and yeah, no, I really enjoyed the characters. And for the actual plot, in the first half I thought I was getting it, you know, I thought I was understanding everything that was happening, and then we get to I guess we get to the second part and I just sort of lost everything. I had no idea what was happening half of the time, and I felt like I was just there for the ride. It was just like, I find it's incredibly fast paced, but at the same time incredibly slow, because there are a lot of moments where characters are just like vomiting info at you. They're just dumping this info on you, and it's sort of expecting you to pick it up and understand. I think I'm definitely going to need a few rereads of it, I think, because of the way the world works and the magic system, because that's what it is. It's the magic system that's part of this world. The jujutsu, the sorcery, the curses, they all have sort of innate abilities that come with their power. So they have techniques, and those techniques are unique to the individual, and they all have individual rules of how they're used and how they work. And it starts off really simple when you're thrown into this. When you start at the very beginning and you're with Yuji, who's learning it all, you're sort of learning it a bit at a time. You think, oh yeah, I get this. And then they just throw some absolutely wild ones at you. And there's one that sort of takes place in like it takes place in a game, and the rules I did not understand. I was not grasping any of it. I had no idea what was happening, and then it was over and I'm like, oh, okay. So I felt like even towards the end, there's still so much that you don't know, and the characters are constantly dumping this information on you throughout the last half, and it was very hard to take in. So I really don't understand a lot of what happened in the latter half of this manga series. I don't know if that makes me unqualified to properly review it, or I mean just as equally as occupied as people who did understand it, because I just had a hard time just absorbing all of the text, all of the information. It's like because everyone's techniques are different and unique, and because of what's happening towards the end, and there's a lot going on, and so there's still new things being introduced right up to the end, and things that constantly need to be explained to you, that you need the running commentary the whole way, but it's just a lot to take in. So I guess that's a comment on the actual magic system itself. I find it very interesting. Honestly, I'm not going to say I'm not uninterested in it, but because the actual like details of the techniques themselves are unique, it's sort of hard for me to properly like get stuck in, because some of them were just, I was just sort of like, wait, what? And yeah, so like, and the plot is, the entire thing revolves, it starts off revolving around Yuji and how he gets started, which did I mention, I don't know if it's like technically classed as a spoiler, I don't know what's involved, so I guess a little warning for some very minor spoilers. Yuji eats this cursed finger in order to get to be able to take on the curses that show up, so that he can fight them, because without any sort of sorcery you can't hurt them. So he needed the finger to give him the sorcery to hurt them, and the finger just happened to be one of 20 fingers of an old sorcerer from back in the day who was incredibly powerful, probably the most powerful sorcerer. And so Yuji is going to be executed because he's had this finger. It makes him incredibly dangerous because he's now sort of possessed by this old sorcerer. He gets a stay of execution because they're going to feed him all of the fingers and then kill him. So it sort of evolves around that until it doesn't, until it does again. And it's, I'm not going to say it flows super smoothly, at least it didn't in my opinion. So like the whole story doesn't flow super smoothly for me. It sort of gets interrupted by something that's actually important, but it doesn't feel important at the time, and then you sort of just gets connected, and then it doesn't get connected because actually I don't understand the actual motivation of these characters. So maybe, oh yeah, I didn't really understand the motivations of the characters, and at times like it seemed clear and then things happened and then I was like, oh, maybe it's not clear, maybe I don't understand what's happening. And so I finished this manga and now the series and was like, I don't really know what happened, but I think I had a good time. It's just, okay, let's try and wrap this up. Overall, I really enjoyed this. It was really good. It's incredibly fast paced. Like I don't think it didn't take me too long to read through it. So you get through it fairly quickly because it moves along fairly quickly. But at the same time, there's a lot of information being thrown at you constantly, almost constantly throughout the series, especially in the second half when we get introduced to a whole load more characters with a whole load of different techniques, and obviously these techniques need to be explained. So it's just sort of, and the characters themselves I feel are very enjoyable. Like I really enjoyed most of the characters. They all have their own motivations, however shallow they might be, and they're all sort of, oh, I just remembered a character death that made me really sad. The sorcery world in general seems a very grey area, so a lot of the characters, there's not much like, I wouldn't say goodness, but not much like over the top goodness. I don't know how to explain that. I did not explain that very well. Succinct, Catherine. Brief. I feel like quite a varied cast of characters that I really enjoyed getting to know. Wish I could get to know some of them more, but you know, it's just the way it goes. Something that's very fast paced. They're just in and out. They're just passing by. They weren't ever meant to be anything bigger. I didn't understand a lot of the motivations. The motivations for certain characters' actions weren't super clear to me by the end of the series. I wasn't left with a feeling, oh right, yeah, that's why they did this. That makes sense. It just couldn't grasp it. And like, it's a really interesting magic system, the sorcery and the curses, like the monsters in this. I find it really interesting. Again, there's a lot of information thrown at you by the nature of the magic, and I didn't understand a lot of what was happening, so I couldn't fully grasp a lot of what was happening. But yeah, overall, just gonna stop myself there. Overall, I really enjoyed it, and I definitely would need to reread it. Did they finish the manga with the anime? Did the anime I know they did the Shibuya arc. I know they did that, but did they actually finish? I don't know, I should look that up, because maybe watching it might help me understand a little better when I can see what's happening, and maybe understand a little better when it's moving, but I'd have to look into that. But yeah, no, overall really enjoyed it. And yeah, as I said, the vlog will be live for everybody. It's already up currently if you have access to the early access. If not, it will be up on Friday for everybody to watch. Just be prepared, it will be full of spoilers, because I am reading through the entire thing and talking about what's happening and what I'm feeling about what's happening. So that is gonna it for this Jujutsu Kaisen review. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know if you've read it, like the entire series, in the comments below, and do let me know if you understood any of what was happening. I'm basically thinking of the games, what was it called, where they had to go participate to do the things and get the things, and we were introduced to a whole load of people, and it was just wild, just wild. But let me know in the comments. Keep it spoiler free, because this review is spoiler free. If you want to talk spoilers, we can do it in the manga vlog video comments section, or if you're in my part of the coffee, you will have access to my Discord. We can talk in there. But until whenever I see you next, until then, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are. And I will hold up. But until then, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!